Hello.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Welcome to not our backyard, our studio.
Yes.
Wine.
The Wine
lair.
and Music, back here, right? The official Wine and Music Studio of Hollywood.
How you guys doing? I see Dad, you're on. I see Jim Cooper. I see Ed. Oh my gosh, Annie. It's so cool. Thank you guys for coming. This is a fun one because we're gonna get to be music people.
Yep.
I get to show you my new song. I get to show you the video that we did of the making of. And we're going to talk about the wine. What? Right there. That has the same, it doesn't have the same name. It's called Soundwave, but then it says on the bottom, Mindi Abair forever, because it's the sound wave of the song that you were just listening to. So we're going to do that. And we've got a very, very special guest, Nico Bolas, who engineered the song and was such a huge part of it. And he's just an all-around cool guy. So we're going to drink. We're going to listen. We're just going to have some fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us where you're coming in from. Tell us if you've listened to the song. Well, you're going to hear it here. But, tell us what you're drinking. But we are drinking Soundwave Napa Valley Chardonnay, which is ours.
Yep. Actually, what's the first thing that we do in every one of our kind of wine events, music events, tasting events?
I know.
Drink.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Get it up there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers to you.
Thanks, everybody, for being here. Hopefully you can hear us okay, see us okay. Let me know. Comment as much as possible. Chime in. We got a really great guest today. He's an incredibly interesting guy, Nico. He's been with a million musicians. One of the most famous that he produced for was, of course,
me.
Mindi Abair. He's in the green room right now, so we always got to be a little careful what we say because he can hear us. So
we can't talk badly
about him. We don't want to offend
him
him too much right now.
Right.
But let's get right on to it. We're going to talk about the wine after we talk about the song and the world premiere of the music video. It's not the world premiere, but it's close enough. It's our
fun
premiere.
To say it.
It's our premiere of the music video.
It's our chance to play it with you. And I'm actually a fan of the show Mystery Science Theater 3000,
right,
which is a very geeky thing to say. Don't judge me too much, but I love B movies. So, on those odd nights where we're not doing anything, the whole pandemic, I love to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000. So we'll talk a little over the video and have some fun with you. But let me tell you a little bit about the song, because you guys have been so cool and you've told me that you've listened to the song either on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you've listened, and that you really love it and that you feel it. And thank you so much, because I have not come out with a solo song since 2014 with my Wild Heart CD. It seems like a long time.
Yeah. But
I had to go on a different path. After Wild Heart, I got with Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers, and we had so much fun, and we've, made so much amazing music together. But there were these songs that I would write while we were on the road, while we were making records that weren't right for the band. The band was all muscle and it was,
Yep.
But there were these personal songs that I would write that I would just kind of shelve. And I would say, you know what? One day it's going to be the right time to record these as just me again. And so that time came in March. And I wrote this song with my friend Ty Stevens that has written a bunch on my albums.
Right.
You guys don't even know how many songs that me and Ty have written. Remember, Save the Last Dance, I Can't Lose. Oh my God, we've written so many. I can't even think. Gingerbread Man. We've written so many together, and he's just one of my favorite writing partners. And then another friend came in too, Wayne Rodriguez, that has done, he wrote Natasha Bedingfield's biggest hit with her, Unwritten. And he has written a bunch with me over the years on my records. He wrote All Star with me. And oh my God, he's written so much with me. On the last record, on East West Sessions, he wrote a bunch too.
Cool.
So Wayne Rodriguez, Ty Stevens. So we go in the studio and I put together friends. And I put together my friend from college, Abraham Laboriel.
Here's a picture.
Do you have a picture? Okay. So the guy in the gray shirt with the beard, with the really super happy look on his face, that's Abe. And you've probably seen him play for Paul McCartney's gig, but for me, he's just my best friend, in college, and we've always stayed friends, although I don't see him much. So it's fun to make music when we can. The other guys in the band, Sean Hurley, you've seen him with John Mayer, heard him with John Mayer on bass. Tim Pierce.
That's the guy sitting down next to Mindy in this picture with the little hat on. So Tim's got one of the coolest things about him.
Yeah.
Is that he played what did he play on? Of course, I'm gonna forget now.
No, Tim Pierce, the guy with the hat sitting next to me in the photo, he played the awesome guitar part. It's mandolin, and then he played the slide guitar solo on the Goo Goo Dolls song.
That's right.
Iris.
That's it.
And it was this huge song. I mean, I think it was Song of the Year for that particular year in the pop genre. It was just, you couldn't go anywhere and not hear that song.
Hey, Alan, everybody's wearing gray because it's slimming and we all need help.
I guess we are all wearing gray, aren't we? Or black. It's slimming, and Eric made lasagna for the session, and so we just all knew, it's going to be all down you. And you'll see Rodney Lee in there.
Far left.
Rodney's been in my band for 19 years. You're also going to see the guy with the gray hair up there in the dark gray. That really narrows it down, doesn't it? But that's Bud Harner. He signed me to my first record deal at Verve Records, and he was, there to oversee. And who else? Well,
you got Steve Perry. He's not on this song, but he's a very good friend of Nico, and Nico's in the middle with the tie. That's the guy who's going to be joining us in a little while. But you got Steve Perry between Abe and
Nico's
Rodney.
on other tracks on the record.
He's
but
on, yep.
I'm sorry, not Nico. Steve Perry is on other tracks on the record, but not this one.
Yeah.
We didn't need his amazing vocals.
Here's Mindy in her little booth, right? Your isolated booth from everybody else, right? Here's a picture of Mindy.
They've got to isolate me because I'm loud.
Yes. There's Mindy and Bud. These are great pictures, putting it together. And I think we have one other great. Oh, this is a panoramic shot of, if you guys can see this very well. Off to the right there is Mindy in a little window. Abe's on drums right there. Rodney's in the forefront. And this is what the studio looks like. And this is basically what Nico looks at almost right through the glass while he's putting the song together. So these are great pictures.
It gives you the idea of, what it was going in there. And we went in to record the week before the world shut down. We knew that something was going on. We were kind of touching elbows, but we didn't know what was going to happen. We had no idea, and it was so much joy recording this with my friends. I mean, to have Abraham come in and play, he played on my Stars record, but he's off on the road with Paul McCartney and doing cool stuff, and everyone's kind of off in their own world.
Yeah.
But to record this solo record for me with all these songs that are so meaningful, this was really cool. So can we play the video?
Yeah. So before we do, I'm getting some comments that we're cutting out. So actually, everybody, give me some comments since everybody's such great at technical stuff and comment on it. So let us know if you can hear us, if we're cutting out, because I got another setting on the mic and I don't want to play the music video till we know you guys can hear us very well. So can everybody hear us? Go ahead and comment, chime in.
Hey, Cynthia from Mississippi. Oh no, not Mississippi. Miss you. Miss listening to you. Thank you. You're gonna get the chance in a minute. We're gonna play you the video. So
all right. So I'm getting comments that people said that they can hear us and see us pretty well. So we're gonna go into the music video right now. So this is the unofficial, non-worldwide premiere.
Absolutely.
But our premiere of Mindy's music video, Forever. So let's see if we could do this.
This is the making of. This is us in the studio recording the track.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Here we go.
Get your popcorn.
Do they want to see us while we do this?
I'm going to drink through it. Little Rodney Lee for you. Go, Abe. Woo! I feel like I should be shaking the shaker right here.
Goofy. Yeah, I agree, Jerry. This is the official video of the 2020 Wine and Music Party.
Okay. Go, Sean.
We hope you guys liked the video so far.
I'm having fun.
Mindy's sitting here dancing off screen.
Woo! Big sax solo.
Really well written.
Rock and roll, baby. Woo!
By the way, one of the writers of the song is commenting.
Ty Stevens, yes, it is a very well-written song.
Remember, Ty, whatever you write, we can put up on the screen for everybody.
You guys can give your comments about the song, whether you like it or not, to Ty Stevens.
I don't know. Is he allowed to comment on his own song?
Yeah.
What do you guys think so far? Let us know.
I think Rodney Lee's killing it on the B3. Ty doesn't remember much about writing this song. Yeah. Woo! That's Sean Kimmel on the bass.
These are actually studio musicians. They're not Mindy's band other than Rodney.
Yeah.
But these are hired guns for great studio musicians.
Yeah, they're friends.
Some of the best in the world, yep.
Yeah.
Some of the best in the world. Thanks, Joe.
See, we're making them work now.
Yeah, look at Abe. Huh?
Abe's sweating by now.
That's called lasagna fueled right there. Yeah, I got some.
Woo! See?
Nice.
You guys got the spirit. Woo! Thank you! Brand new music, brand new video.
Non-official, non-worldwide, non-premiere. Yes.
Yes. Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
A lot of really great comments. We got a lot of people telling us where they're from too. So keep telling us where you're from. We got Brazil in the house. I just saw someone from Uruguay. Shouldn't you be sleeping in Uruguay right now? But we're glad you're here with us right now.
So some of you guys see that not all those guys are my band.
Yeah.
And I should say why. Because a lot of times when you go into a studio to record a record or record a particular song, you choose people who you think are right for that. And there are a couple songs on this new record that'll come out next year that are my usual band. But this particular song, I brought in guys that I loved their vibe, and we were friends. And you never get to make music sometimes with some of your favorite musicians and some of your favorite people. You're always doing different stuff. So Sean Hurley is always on the road with John Mayer. But he happened to be free. So I was like, come on in. I don't get to play with you all the time. This is cool. And the same thing with Abraham Laboriel Jr., the guy just rocking it out on drums.
The big guy with the big smile.
He's always off with Paul McCartney playing with him. So I never get the chance to see him. I mean, I moved to Los Angeles. The first time I came to Los Angeles was staying at Abe's house. And his father is an amazing bass player, Abraham Laboriel Sr., and I mean, they basically just said, this is LA. You should check it out. You should come here. You would like it. And sure enough, I've spent most of my life here. So it's always good to make music with people that you think will bring out something different in you, or, you know, just be this cool place that you can go to make music with friends you don't always get to see. So I loved those questions. Like, wait, who are those guys?
Hey, we got a guy here that's got like that. You have to be a rock star, Paul, with a name like that. Either that, or you're an outstanding candidate at a hot dog eating contest, man. I mean,
thanks for coming in from Australia to watch some music video.
Curry, man. Absolutely, and there's some great wine down there too. So in a little while, we're going to do a Chardonnay tasting on the world unofficial premiere.
It's not the premiere of the
Chardonnay, but we actually just shipped a Chardonnay not too long ago as well that we're going to feature here in a minute. But Mindi had one little thing, since you have the song kind of embedded in your brain now, which is really awesome, right? Tattooed on the brain. Mindi brought a little song demo, one of the earlier versions. And what I love about Mindi's albums is, and since we've been together, I get to hear the earlier versions of the songs and then what they become. Like when she comes back from Ty's house from writing with them, and I'm like, what is that all about, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like. Then there's this whole thing after. Sometimes they stay in the form that they originally recorded and wrote them, and sometimes they change a little bit. So you have a little sample here of that song.
Yeah.
We want to play for everybody. So we're only going to play just a few seconds, but so if you remember the beginning of of Forever, this is going to be one of the original versions of this song before it became what it is now.
So like he said, sometimes songs stay very true to how they're written, and then sometimes songs morph. This one morphed. So Tyrone and I actually got together and wrote this original version of it, and then it morphed when we brought in Wayne Rodriguez.
Sorry, guys.
So Ty is actually listening, and he's here. So I think I'm just going to freak him out and play the demo. And we did it in his studio. And you're going to hear the verse and intro are nothing like what it is now. I mean, it was just me and him playing everything. But the chorus is exact. So, I mean, it's a little more rock and roll. But check out just kind of the verse and chorus, and then we'll shut it off. So this is the original demo to the song you just saw, the world premiere, not world premiere of the video.
Unpremiere.
Something cool's about to happen. Get ready.
It's going to get crazy.
What just happened? That's my favorite part. I do miss that.
Yeah. So you can hear it has the same form, the same sound, but it definitely kind of changes and matures and becomes something even bigger.
A little different vibe, but here you'll hear it's the same.
So anyway, I thought that was kind of fun to be able to show what these songs sound like when Mindi comes home and plays them off her iPhone for me. And, there's been a bunch of times where I go, that's going to be awesome, and that's not. And, of course, the other way it happens. The ones that don't sound that awesome become some of the coolest songs at the end of the day when Nico and your musicians and everybody else get their hands on it in the studio. So
you never know what's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah. So, all right. So that was the music video. So cheers, everybody. Cheers. Cheers to Mindi. Congratulations, sweetie.
Thanks, honey.
New music video, new music.
Thanks for watching with us.
And we also have new wine. We have a lot of members on right now. We have a lot of non-members that have asked. That right there is a bottle of Chardonnay, right, from Napa Valley. Ooh. By the way, this is our wine holder. Oh. Studiane say, this is the San Marzano, the real original San Marzanos from Napoli. But it also doubles as a stand for the...
Well, the wine, I couldn't see it, so I had to put it up on the little stand so you could actually see the, hey, look, the cover, it's called Soundwave, but that Soundwave is what we mixed the song to. That Soundwave is the Soundwave of the actual entire song.
Here, I'll show a very good close-up here on the screen for everybody to see. There you go. So that is, and you can go to our website to see the details, but that's the actual sound wave of the song, of Mindi's song Forever. This is one of the first times we've ever done this. We found someone on the internet that would actually take a digital, take the audio file and make a digital rendering of the song. You can actually see where it breaks down in the middle there, right?
Yeah, that's a little keyboard solo with Rodney Lee.
Keyboard solo. We got all the wine notes up there, and this is kind of a close-up of it. But you know what? I love this picture here. We're going to show a picture that when we print these labels and we make this wine, there's some kind of fun stuff that goes on. We have to go to the printers to make sure all these labels look awesome. And can't find the picture right now. Well, so much for that.
The picture looked awesome. I liked it.
It was a screenshot. All right, so let's talk. Sorry about that. I can't find the image now.
Hate it when that happens.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to distract myself. But so let's get back to the Chardonnay. So there's a lot of people out there that had this Chardonnay. This is... Wow, this is our second Napa Valley Chardonnay, and the reason why we chose it was because we went through 25 Chardonnays, and this one just stuck out of this. It has that lean style, but it's a little buttery. And so let's kind of really quick here before we have a Nico on, talk about what it's like being in the studio.
Nico. We're going to have a Nico on.
Yeah, everybody has a Nico, and we have one too. So let's talk a little bit about the Chardonnay. So we'll do a little wine tasting if everybody doesn't mind right now. So what I love about this Chardonnay is that it's from Napa Valley. And so I got a little picture up here for you. On the left side is California, and it's in red. So it basically is on fire all the time lately.
It's not okay.
I know, it's not okay. But this is on the right side. That's Napa Valley. And you can see all the different colors, and many of you have been there, and you could see the different appellations. Far north up in Calistoga, the green, Howell Mountain, that's where a lot of the fire just recently happened, unfortunately. Yeah. But that's the warmer part of the region. So that's where you get your Cabs and your Merlots and your bigger wines. And you could grow Chardonnay all over Napa. But down in the southern portion down there, in the red and the pink, in the kind of yellowish areas, Stag's Leap, Oak Knoll, Mount Veeder, Yountville, that's where Chardonnay is typically grown in Napa, and the reason why it gets cooler at night. Mindi and I live down in this area, and it gets cooler at night. So when these little grapes are out there, and that's what a Chardonnay looks like, Chardonnay grape, they need that warm Napa day, but they need those cooler nights, where it's in northern Napa, it doesn't get that warm. The reason why is with your white wines, you want things to be a little bit brighter, more acidic. You don't want it to be so full body and heavy. Yeah. Chardonnays are a little bit more of the medium body white wines. So this wine was grown in the southern region of Napa, so you can have more of that acidity, that cool climate acidity, but also get the ripeness. And by the way, if you take a look at this picture and get a little geeky on this, you can actually see that this is towards the end of harvest. See how the photosynthesis is, and the green is coming already, and the chlorophyll is coming out of the leaves.
This is where it gets geeky, right?
Yeah, and you can see the grapes. If you could really take a look at them, they got a little sunburn on them. That's what those little spots are, the little freckles. but not enough to affect the wine. And it's got a little dust on it. That is dust, and that's also a little spray to make sure that they stay happy and healthy before we pick them. So right before we taste our own wine here, I found this from Wine Folly. I love this, even if you're a wine expert. I love this slide. She does an outstanding job on this website called Wine Folly because it breaks Chardonnay down, breaks all the wines down in a really understandable way. These are the things that you're going to find most often in a Chardonnay, especially from Napa Valley. The yellow apple, I think green apple, more for Napa Valley. You have a little bit of pineapple, vanilla, butter, and it gives you a little gauge down here. So our Chardonnay that we found is kind of indicative of the many qualities that they said on there. But what we love about it, it's got a little bit of oak to it. Now, there's a lot of people out there that love Rombauer, love Kendall Jackson. And by the way, Rombauer made it through the fires, went right around the winery in Napa Valley. But it does a lot more oak. It has a heavier oak profile to it, and a creamier profile to it. Mindy and I like the fruit to shine through a little bit more. And based upon the comments we get from all our members with the Chardonnay, you guys do too. And the reason why is because you could just smell the fruit, you could taste the fruit more, and you still have that creaminess from the vanilla, the oakiness from the barrel. So this Chardonnay is absolutely beautiful. It's a 2018. It was grown in some of the best vineyards in all of Napa Valley. This was an incredible find for us. The winemaker only had a very, very small amount. I could promise you in our membership, it sells for $35, but I could promise you out in a winery, this is an $80, $100 Chardonnay.
It's so good.
It's totally luxury, outstanding. So if you love Chardonnay, if you don't love Chardonnay, you got to try this. But if you love Chardonnay, become a member in our wine company. You can see the little scrolly bar down here. People asked where you can get the Chardonnay from. We have a little wine company that we'll tell you about at the end. It is a 100% membership only. So we just ship this wine to our members. We have a lot of them on here drinking this wine. A lot of people already reordered them, actually. Reordered the wine, which was great because we only make a very small amount. And this one is really special for us because it's part of the membership, the people that really believe in us. Yeah. They follow our wine and music lifestyle. And this label is a perfect, it's just really, truly outstanding of the, basically what our company is about, which is matching wine and music. So
I love the label. I just think it's so cool that it's a sound wave. It's cool that we have Nico on that gets the sound waves.
Yeah.
And the playlist, because we do a playlist for every wine, the playlist to this is just all these songs that'll last forever for me. That I kind of did my song forever as this chant, like Mindi Abair forever, and it was just the coming back to me. But, the playlist that I made are all songs that I think just kind of last forever and that are ever present.
Oh, I got a picture of it right here.
It's
that's our Spotify playlist.
Oh yeah.
So the way you match the music, Mindy creates these playlists, and the way you match the music with the wine is you can go to our Spotify page, which is shown right here, and you can see we only have playlists on there, and you just click on the wine that you're drinking, and you will be able to hear the music that matches with this wine.
And the music's awesome for this one. It's all, it's everyone from Dave Koz to Candy Dulfer to Peter White, Norman Brown.
Pedro Blanco,
my bad.
Rick Braun.
But it's just all songs that are such classics, and I think you'll love it. You got to drink it with the wine. You listen as you drink the wine and have some fun.
Yeah. So that's our wine kind of segment, if you will. Not kind of.
The matchy wine to the song.
Unofficial, non-world premiere, because we can only sell it in
Well, for me, I'm a girl. I like matchy. So if we have a wine that is the sound wave to the song, this makes sense to me.
Yes, it does.
And we have the engineer for the song,
And I'm going to find that picture. Go ahead, keep tap dancing for me, because I'm going to find the picture.
He's finding a picture
of Mindy doing the color check on this.
See, it is pretty fun to do the label because then you get to go and get it printed, and it's fun and artistic, and you get to see it become art, which is super awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. But while I'm looking for this, so why don't we introduce Nico? I'm excited about you guys talking to each other and the history that he has. And I see that he's hanging out in the green room right now.
Hanging out in our green room?
Yep.
Okay. We have a very special guest. And you guys always come in and it's just us doing our thing, or it's Peter White on my back porch or Ellis Hall on my back porch. But tonight we have the engineer for my record that will come out next year, but he engineered that song forever. And you choose people who you love to work with. And I think engineers are the people that affect your song the most. Nico is a guy that you walk in the room, you walk in the studio, and it's sheer joy. I mean, this guy is just like, he makes you feel good about making music. And sometimes just your surroundings are everything. I mean, we all know from the pandemic, you're around the people. That's the back of his head. He oversees everything in the studio. So let me introduce you to someone who's just a family member to me, but has recorded some of the most amazing records that you are all familiar with. You just don't know him yet. So give it up with a big cheers to Nico Bolas.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm blushing now. I've never
But it's true. He's in his studio right now. Who are you mixing right now?
Mixing a band called Ronin. Earlier today I was doing Neil Young bootleg, and this afternoon I'm doing this band Ronin. They do a live show in Japan. It's Waddy Wachtel, your friend, and Dan Dugmore and Rick Barada and Stanley Shelton.
See, I always think it's cool to ask you what you're working on. By the way, he wore a tie for us. Yeah.
I also can't go any further in the interview without telling Mika that I love her, because when I pull in the driveway, if I haven't told her I love her, I'll be pulling out of the driveway. So now I'm safe to go home.
See,
Mika's my partner and my bestest friend in the whole world.
See, I love that. And you guys saw the picture of the back of his head when we recorded the song. His hair was short and, well-mannered, the whole thing.
Oh, wait, let me
mother-friendly. And man, now, whatever, all these months into COVID.
There it is.
Yeah, there is no short hair anymore. You are like California man.
He's got me beat right there. Definitely.
We're in full Shaggy mode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The weird thing on the session was when Abe came in, and he was the first person that actually was trying to respect the distancing. And he said, we can't hug. We have to do the Wuhan handshake. And he would put his ankle out. And
oh, that's right, Bradley.
Yeah. Pretty weird. COVID's very strange.
Well, we just had an idea that something was around.
Yeah, it was the last session. I mean, I think the day after we finished, I didn't even get my speakers out.
Yeah.
The studio shut down the day after we finished. They're still there.
Yeah, Abe went on when I posted the video. He went on and just said that was it. That was the last.
Yeah, that was the last
session that all of us had.
What a great session to have! It was awesome.
We had your lasagna. He made a homemade lasagna for the session, and we were all fighting over it.
I think the lasagna was the most technical part of the session for me.
It was.
Figuring that out. And the flight cases for the wine. For this, I don't know anything about wine. So I just learned more about wine in the last 20 minutes waiting to do this than I've ever known in my life. But for people that don't know, when Eric shows up at a studio and brings something light to eat, it's trays of different lasagnas, just huge home style lasagna where you have to nap when you're done eating.
Yeah.
And then these flight cases that open up with these foam cutouts. It looks like maybe spyware or like weapons or something.
Yeah.
And
it's
they're
my travel case
of this super expensive wine, and everybody was running around. It's amazing we got anything done. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Yeah. It's the official travel case. Fits a whole case of wine.
You gotta have equipment.
Huh?
You gotta have equipment.
Yeah, he's got hipper equipment than I do.
Yeah.
So, before I met Mindi about 8 years ago, I didn't know anything that goes on behind the scenes. Like a lot of people don't know what goes behind the scenes with wineries. They just see the fancy outsides and the shiny chateaus and the beautiful bottles, but that's like 1% of our industry. And I've met a lot of engineers and producers through the years, and the importance of them. Now I listen to songs in a whole new way. Especially my old 80s songs. I could hear producers more than I could hear musicians sometimes. And so if you don't mind just telling everybody what you do, I mean, because if people look you up online, you have just a huge list of artists that you work with, including Neil Young. And I think everybody would be really interesting to know what I've learned over the last 8 years, exactly what you do for someone like Mindi.
It's the easiest, most fun job in the world, really. Well, it is, because the whole secret about any of your favorite records, if you cut to the chase, they're great songs. So when you have great songs and great writing, it makes itself. There's not really any mystery to it. The secret is to stay out of the way. And the making of a record in the simplest process for somebody who's never been in a studio is, if you play your horn, you're moving air. So you got to put something that hears that. It's a microphone. You take the microphone, you record that air moving, and now we record it digitally. We used to record it on tape machines. And then it just gets stored somewhere, and you collect everybody's sound, and then it all comes back, and you decide how loud everything's supposed to be. That's all the faders that are here, these things.
Right.
You just shove it up, and you make everything as loud as you think it should be, so it's coming out of the speakers, and it sounds like what you just heard when you were standing in the room.
Right.
And then you're done. That's it.
You make it sound so simple.
Pretty easy, but you see the board behind us.
Oh, I know. No, but you're such a mad scientist. And I got to tell, everyone who's tuned in and here with us, that what Nico does is a huge, huge part of a record. And he's downplaying it, but he's the guy who's behind it all. I can choose the guys and girls that I want to come in and be the musicality and create that, that sonic thing. But then Nico, you're going to create what it sounds like, whether the kick drum is, going to be everything, or whether the guitar is just going to, beat your head in or not, or whether the sax is going to be brittle, or, you chose microphones with that kind of stuff in mind. And that's what you bring to the table, is that sensibility of the whole picture.
Well, thank you. It's a joy. I just love doing it. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about it. It's a gas. I've never had a real job. I've been doing this for over 20 years.
You say you've never had a real job, but for those, those of you guys who don't know Nico, he did the record I produced with Sean Amos. And Sean's record is actually now on the first Grammy ballot, which is so cool.
Right.
And you've done everyone: Sheryl Crow, Neil Young. I know you've been working on the new Neil Young, which I just might have to sneak over there and just listen, because I'm such a huge fan.
So I just put this picture up. This is an awesome picture. You guys look great in it. You could also see how short Nico's hair normally is.
Much more respectable.
Yeah. This is such a great picture. So you've done a lot of things with Neil Young. I've seen, I've heard. When did you guys first meet?
I think the first record I did for him was in 1983, 82, 83.
Oh, wow.
That's
84, long time ago. He came to California. He had just gone to Geffen Records, and he came to California to work with Danny Korchmar. And he wanted to do something different. So Cooch said, okay, just show up. So he showed up, and he got me, Steve Jordan, and Danny. And the four of us went in the studio, and I set up what I thought he was talking about. And Neil went out, and what he had done is he had done the first record I did with him. He had done all the vocals and the songs in front of a fireplace at his ranch. And
wow.
They couldn't beat the feel of that. So the reason that we kind of hit it off is I said, listen, you guys go to dinner and come back. Right. I have an idea. And I took the 8-track tape stuff that he had with the fireplace crackles and everything, and I transferred it to a digital machine. And when they came back, I had them, all of them, play live to the acoustic guitar and vocal, as if that guy was in another room. I just said, just pretend we have a singer in the other room and play it live. And I made 6 copies of everything, so they could do 6 takes in a row to the same vocal and acoustic. And they did, and it came out amazing. And Neil and I have been friends ever since. We've worked a lot.
So it's possible to be friends with Neil Young then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's easier to be friends with him than work for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone says he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See, I think that's really cool, because there are a lot of studio opportunities and stories of the studio that it's less than real. you know, and you're just fighting for this perfection, and you're fighting for this, you know, this sound and everything. I love working with you because it's real. And no matter what it is, it's like you're gonna bring me back to reality. If I'm fighting too much for, oh, maybe I need to do that over, or I need to make that more perfect or fix that, you're like, but the spirit was in that, or we, you know, you work to get that reality, and that's what music really is, and not everyone fights for that.
Mhm.
Well, thank you very much. I learned a long time ago that the best shit happens when you're not looking. And most artists are truly artists right before they have to be artists, which is usually the run through or, you know, an experiment.
Yeah.
So my rule, as it was with your record, is I never say we're rolling. You just don't use those words. Just go out and start playing. And what I usually try to do is I'll get in the night before, and when nobody's looking, I'll get everything set up so that you can just start playing and you're already recording.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
you go ahead and exhaust. Like if anybody's watching that's doing their own demos or wants to write songs or whatever, the easiest thing to do is to try everything. It takes more time to talk about an idea than it does to try the idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The secret is if you catch the very first one, and then don't forget to go back and check what it is you loved 30 minutes ago. And then
Yeah.
decide. If you can let your ego not make the decision because you worked so hard on it and just take what happened naturally, you'll usually get what's real. But again, it comes back to, I'm so grateful you got Ty on, because you get people that know how to write songs.
Yeah.
My work is so easy. Just stay out of the way. And, you know, it's like being the bumper guards in a bowling alley. You know, you don't tell anybody how to throw the ball, but if it goes to the gutter, you knock it back in.
the middle. Well, you know, I have a question for you. So was there ever a moment out of all the years you've been doing this and the huge discography that you have, has there ever been a moment that you just knew that something magical was happening at that moment, and it became that in a song that just went to millions and millions of people? Because Ed Cherney, the late Ed Cherney, said that when he was in the studio with Bonnie Raitt and she played
I Can't Make You Love Me. Yeah.
He said
yeah.
at the take that they got, everybody was like crying in the studio, and they just knew that it was a moment. And you've been through a million songs. Has that ever happened with you, that a moment happens and you're like, oh my God, this is
absolutely. It's one of the greatest feelings in the world. You get goosebumps and you kind of look around. You know, did that happen to anybody else? You know, that thing hits you.
Right.
It happens often, fortunately for me, but I'm blessed in that I get to work with people that are really amazing. So, you know, it's not really how famous a person is, it's how in tune a person is. You know, it's the universe is real big. The musical universe is really concise about what feels good. And people that are really connected are really connected. Right. And you have to just recognize it and then dig it and let it happen. Yeah. And that's happened a lot. Ed Cherney is one of the other people that I'm so sorry we lost him, but he's one of the guys that was a mentor to me about just having really a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And then, oh look, we also made a record.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed like Ed Cherney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I feel that some of those great records that are made, people on the outside don't realize that it's that vibe that you've got on the inside, that it's that team that you put together to make a record, whether it's your touring band or whether it's your friends that you don't get to see that much, or whether it's the engineer that you love dearly that you don't get to see much, but it's all people that are going to add to this vibe and this energy that are either going to make it a bummer, and you're going to be like, oh, I've got to play this song perfect, and I don't know, I feel uncomfortable in here. Or they're going to make it family, and are going to make it cool, and are going to make it this place that you want to be, and you just want to hang out in forever and be creative.
You don't want to do the James Brown $5?
Yeah.
Every time you make a mistake, it's $5.
$5.
Yeah. Steve Jordan will do that when he's playing. He'll look at you if you make a mistake, and he'll flash $5.
$5. I do that to my band.
You
on
know,
stage
the
every once in a
interesting thing is if you give people license to be that insane, it sometimes can push people to try things that they normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And when they normally wouldn't do something is when they make the genius mistakes, because they've never been there on the fretboard, or you've never gone to that key, or you've never tried to go to a minor in this place, whatever it is. And the thing is to always pay attention to adjectives. You know, try and figure out the people that you're working with and figure out their adjectives, because the faster you can figure out, like with you, the faster I can figure out what you mean when you say it's got to be green. Well, what the hell does green mean? You know, so it could be a reverb, it could be a delay, it could be a room, it could be a microphone, it could be, you know, a key change. But once you learn all these things, and then you can put stuff together so you can get the wacky ideas faster, two things happen. One, you're recording the genius mistakes, and then you just get people to come back and recognize them. And two, you're honoring the muse. You're letting the ideas come, and you're not trying to control where it goes.
Yeah.
And the best gift for me is when I can see a bunch of people that I really respect all acting like they're in junior high school for 4.5 minutes. Because that's when you were in your first band and you were playing and everybody was keying off everybody else and just having the greatest time. And you're, you know, there's not a care in the world. The only thing is if you're going to be late for dinner, right?
Yeah.
And if you can get a room full of amazing musicians to go back to that grin for the 4.5 minutes of a single, you're going to have a really serious
That's words to live by. I like that.
I've seen that in the studio with Mindi and also on stage where there are those moments. It's almost like I'm a huge Golden State Warrior fan, and there was times years ago when a magical moment would happen and everything would go in and anything was going on and it was the greatest thing in the world. And I've seen that with you in the studio and on stage where those moments happen, and it's like that was special. And then I've seen moments where you're sick and you're struggling through the show and you're sweating like crazy, but nobody knows in the crowd that you're sick, but I know that you are. And it's pretty amazing to watch how it all unfolds, the nuances that people don't see. But what I think is really the most amazing thing, and I'm a fan, you know, married to Mindi, but I'm a fan, is I get to see the behind the scenes stuff, but whatever you guys put out there always looks shiny and pretty perfect. You know, whatever's on
people don't see, especially with people like Mindi. What people don't see is when you have artists like Abe or Sean or your rhythm section, any of the guys in this band, and you particularly, when you're singing a lyric, or like when Steve was singing with you, and you had that song about where there's a woman, there's a way. He loved what you were singing about. And so internally, I've seen singers break down into tears and have to leave the room and come back after a verse. Or with Steve trying to make everybody cry with the way he was phrasing, you know, and his vibrato for the backgrounds when he was working. There's a picture.
So for everybody, he's mentioning
people don't realize
a very good friend of yours, which is which is Steve Perry. So yes. You
got to realize how intensely people pursue the deepest of simple feelings, so that when people listen to it, they'll get the same thing. It's really important to us.
I that was amazing to me to, you know, Steve Perry dropped by the studio because he was your friend, and I didn't even know him, but you know, it's like he was talking about the music and he let himself immerse in it, and that's so rare. It's so rare that someone's open enough to do that. And then for him to say things to me and we would get in these conversations, and I just, I respect so much how much he would just let go and just let the music be a part of him. And then to have him sing was just otherworldly, but he does that. He just shows that emotion through his voice. I hear him sing one line and it's like, oh, it's amazing.
But everybody in your band does that. Abe does that. Sean does that. Everybody does that. I love the fact that we're looking at pictures. Nobody knows how incredibly loud I listen, but if you look at the console, the meters are pinned. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's nothing but speakers, giant speakers that are right on top of your head. That's true. I didn't even think about that.
You're the
I
Max
love what I
Alphonse.
do. It's
For
really
everybody's edification, that's Abe on the left, Mindy in the middle, of course, and then Steve Perry on the right there singing his heart out. And he's part of the Rainbows that they called it.
Yes, we called it the Rainbows. We are the background vocalists for this album.
Yep.
And the album won't be out till next year, but this song, no vocals. But
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, when you brought up the spirit of, you know, really letting yourself go and letting you get into the song and get that.
I don't think people, I didn't until I started working with artists, I didn't realize how truly vulnerable artists are when they're actually creating, which is why you have to be very careful about the vibe in the room. You know, there could be one person that's kind of got a funky vibe to them, and I will escort them out in the most polite way I can. That's my job.
I'd like to see that one day. I'd like to see you get all mafioso, but I haven't seen that side. I don't know. I've just seen the guy wearing the tie with the, you know.
Yeah,
You gotta
I'm
change
very diplomatic.
Yeah, you're Carmen.
We'll let you be
Carmen
that guy.
Lasagna, right?
Yeah,
If I got the
It's a good friend of
lasagna,
mine.
it's my job to
We
get
got
you
that
out
guy
of
from
here.
Australia that came in before. What was his name? Like Johnny
It was super
Meatballs
cool.
or something
I
like
hope you're
that.
still here. Yeah, if you're still watching. Well, Nico, I know you've got Wadi's record, Ronin.
great to see you guys. I
To
love your
mix.
record. It's been an honor.
Thank
Let's
you.
get back to your wine. I'll see you later. Thanks.
We love you. Give it up for
Thank
Nico.
Nico.
Thank you. How cool was that?
Yo, that was awesome.
You
I love
guys,
the
like,
pictures too.
that was-
I just thought that was awesome.
It was so cool to work with Nico, and this guy can record orchestras, or he can record these killer rock bands, or singer-songwriters like Sheryl Crow or Neil Young, and he just knows exactly what to do, and he's just the most magical guy. So you want more cool people like that in your life, no matter if it's wine
Yeah.
or if it's music or if it's your friends. So
Well, and I think,
yeah,
you know,
that's awesome.
what's really interesting is that, you know, everybody out there, all the people that watch us on these shows, you know, the wine shows and music shows,
Yeah.
they know Mindy, you guys know Rick, you know, Pedro Blanco, you know, all these, you know, the stars, but there's so many amazing people behind the scenes that I've been able to meet and that are so immensely important. It's like a movie. You know, you go see a huge movie and, you know, there's the directors, producers, all these incredible people back there. But the engineers and producers you could even hear it in some of the songs, not your songs, but in the older songs. Like you can hear that a producer made this song. And in other songs, you could hear a musician made this song. It's absolutely amazing. It opened up my mind to music in a way. I already loved music before I met you, and opened up my mind to music more in a way that I've never imagined. And I love both sides. I love the heavy produced songs, and I love the ones where the musician just flies and singer-songwriter. I love it all. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of wine, because some wines are just natural and throw them in the bottle and let them fly. And some of them are heavily winemakered produced wines. Winemaker-ish, you know, a new word I just made up. And they're all spectacular for whatever reasons, how they got to our table. So you guys have hung with us for a whole hour. Thank you so much for everything
so
tonight.
fun.
It was great. I mean, it was your music video, which was pretty awesome.
Well, no, okay. So let's bring this back to what we started. Are you drinking out of the bottle?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can see the donut light in my glasses too.
What was cool? Yeah, we got one of those ring lights that everyone and their brother has now because it's COVID-19.
So by the way, I look 52, 51, 52, 51.
All right, so
the ring light takes a year off.
Yeah, a year off. That's right. To make a song like this was really super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had these wines that we were choosing.
Yeah.
And this Chardonnay was so amazing, and it just felt like the song forever.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to kind of go with that. It's up to me to come up with the artwork. So I was working on the mixing of the song with Nico. It totally made sense to make this the label.
Official
the
wine
sound
of the song
wave.
forever. Yes, sound wave.
So we just wanted to make a listening party that we could drink and listen to the song and watch it and just kind of get into the geekiness of both. But we hope you guys become members because we've got this cool membership and we just ship to you guys. So it's been so fun to see you guys send us pictures and you know, on Instagram and via email and stuff. You guys have told us how much you like the song and how much you're digging the wine and how much you're loving the playlist. The playlist is awesome.
Yeah, it just means,
if I do say so myself.
Means quite a bit to us. It really does, because it's our life work of wine and music. And, you know, we package it in this shiny package with the cool logos and the nice labels. But at the end of the day, it's just wine and music that we absolutely love. And we love sharing it with you guys. So if you want to become part of our membership, you can go to thereservetastings.com. The last wine shipment just went out. The next one's going to come out right before Christmas, and it's going to be a Sonoma County Malbec.
No, it's going to be before Thanksgiving.
Oh, sorry, right before
Thanksgiving. We need stuff to
Thanksgiving.
drink for Thanksgiving. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's right, yeah. It's going to be a Sonoma County Malbec, and it's going to be a Viognier from San Ynez Valley, which is down in Santa Barbara County. Just lights out Viognier, lights out.
It's pretty rock
So two awesome brands and two very important things that we're very proud of. But if you want to become part of our membership, please do. And we also, for all of you that have hung with us here, we have a little adventure going on. Come with us to Sonoma. Come with us to Tuscany.
Oh my God, I need out of my house. Totally need out of my house.
There's a few people on here that I know that are coming with us, and Mindi needs to get out of the house. Not away from me, even just out of the house.
No, we just need to get out of the house.
All right.
Yeah.
And there's our little flyer for it, so you can see it right there. Mindi and I are acting all badass in the vineyard. I don't know if you can act badass in the vineyard, but we are.
We can act badass anywhere we are, especially in the vineyard.
We're going to do a full wine and music immersion at the highest level. This is the finest food you ever had in your life. We're talking 3-star hotels, 5-star hotels, 3-star restaurants. I always get that wrong. So 5-star hotels and just the finest you can find in the world in Sonoma on the right side and Tuscany, Italy on the left side. And we're going to do these every year. We're going to go to all these amazing wine regions and visit incredible wineries, Bordeaux. We're going to go to Chile. We're going to go to Rioja, Spain. So please join us. Consider coming with us on these little adventures, small groups, 40 or 50 people. And it's just going to be us just drinking and listening to music all day. And eating. So that doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Before that though, because that's
we do that anyway, by the way. So we might as well invite 50 of our closest friends.
That's way into next year. That's June and November next year. But before then, tomorrow night, we are doing our first virtual concert live for you, full band, everything. So, we hope you tune in. It's for a great cause, Hope Services, which I've played for so many years. So tune in, tell your friends. It's a $20 ticket, and we'll be playing live for you and just, you know, going for broke because we have not done this since March. So it's going to feel so good. So thank you for joining us tonight and having so much fun with us. And we love you so much. We hope you love the wine.
I like the
we
pigtails.
hope you love the song.
I like the pigtails, by the way.
It's 96 degrees, so I figured.
Can you do it with me?
Ponytails were right. What do you think?
Yeah.
No. All right. Maybe it's not your look.
We love you guys.
So,
cheers.
Have a great night. Cheers to you. Ponytails.
Yeah, we're still there. You.